Hello, good morning. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Although Dawn is not here yet, it's a foggy morning. It's not too cool, about 6 degrees. Um, I would have started earlier, but I was trying to fold sheets and towels, and trying to fold sheets and towels. This animal is very difficult. Very difficult. Please, come on. Why don't you? Okay. Ow. Hold on. Come here. I'm gonna put you out the room because you're not acting right. No, you had a chance, but you didn't want to act right. And I can't have this going on. And so trying to do a video is not easy either. So I have two 80 proof, 40% alcohol Kentucky bourbon products. This is 10 High. Show 10 High is the older brand. Introduced in 1934. America's Native Spirit. This is the newest label, but they've changed this product many times over the last 20 years. It was a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey when it was Hiram Walker, and then Barton got a hold of it. And then it got dropped to a blended bourbon, which is what I saw when I first saw it. It was blended bourbon. And then I started seeing this new label. I just thought they changed the label, but no, Sazerac, after they bought Barton in 2009, slowly brought in this. They kept both on the shelf. They phased out the old one and brought in the new one. This is still sour mash bourbon, and it says established 1879. No, Hiram Walker was established, a U.S. Canadian company, in 1879. This was 1934. But now it's bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. So they're not even selling it as a bourbon. They're selling it as a bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. Bottled by Barton Distilling Company in Kentucky. We'd love to hear from our customers. Sazerac.com. So it's telling you who's the owner. There's a little bit left. You can buy it at Mathern's locally here. Walmart had it, but they got rid of it. They might still have it. They're selling this big bottle for $13. Just trying to unload it. Hill Old Style Bourbon, introduced in 1937, from what I was able to find out. It's sour mash also. It's charcoal filtered before bottling. It's aged 3 years. Now, the 10 High has no age statement because it's, like I said, it's a distilled spirit specialty. Not an actual bourbon, but a bourbon with natural flavors, a distilled spirit specialty, which is not allowed to have age. Distilled spirit specialties are not allowed to have age statements, but they have to specifically describe what they are, bourbon with natural flavors. And they have to have a distinguishing name, which is 10 High, sour mash. I read the regulation. All right, so Heaven Hill has been rebranded. They didn't change the recipe. Now, in 10 High, they didn't change the brand, but they changed the recipe twice, at least. The 10 High is the same recipe. The Heaven Hill is the same recipe, but they rebranded it to Quality House. So it's funny how one didn't change, except the name did, and the other one, the name never changed, but the product did twice, at least twice. So there's the Heaven Hill. I paid $11.99 for it, a liter bottle. And for this 10 High, I think I paid, I know what I paid, I remember, $14.99. $14.99 for a handle. That's pretty much the cheapest bourbon product you're going to find. And now Walmart, like I said, is selling it for $13. I could check the website, see if they're still selling it. I'm not going to repurchase it. I've had enough of it. It's fine. It's okay, but enough's enough. I'll let you in, but you've got to calm down. You've got to behave. Now get up on that towel and lay down like you were doing earlier. Or if you want to lay down on my lap, come here. If you start acting crazy, I'm just going to put you out the room. So now settle down, lay down, calm down. You can do this. So let's look at the appearance. You want to go out the room again? The Heaven Hill is copper. The 10 high is a little more amber. I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah, copper and amber. Oh! Okay, you get up on your little towel and lay down, which is probably not going to happen. Heaven Hill versus the Sazerac Company. Knew that was coming. Let her play with the bottle. Maybe she'll be fascinated by that. She will drink beer because I had beer poured yesterday, and she started licking it off the rim of the can. And I was like, oh, it's definitely not designed for a kitten. Dawn, well, not exactly, but the days are getting longer now since we're past December 21st. So. PPNP says Merry Christmas, Jay. Merry Christmas to you and to everybody. Merry Christmas, everyone. Christmas 2025. Starting off with 2 economy brand bourbons. Okay. Now the Heaven Hill, what I noticed about it, now known as Quality House, remember, did it stand out? Didn't stand out above the other bourbons. It's just kind of regular, but that was the benefit of it. It's $11.99. That's what I paid. $11.99 for a liter bottle, liter glass, not plastic like she's playing with the other. But it holds its own, like it battles, it competes against the other more expensive products. So you're not going to get anything special on it. 3-year age, charcoal filtered, sour mash, exactly the same specs as Evan Williams Green Label, by the way. Is it the same product with different labels? It could be. They say their standard mash bill 78% corn, 12% rye whiskey, and 10% malted barley whiskey. So they could be taking the same product, just some of it they call Evan Williams, some they call Quality House, some they call Henry McKenna, because Henry McKenna, the standard brown bottle Henry McKenna, same thing. Age 3 years, sour mash, and if I'm not mistaken, charcoal filtered before bottling. So, I mean, I don't care if they do that, honestly, but the bread man, I'll talk to a man that delivers actually Little Debbie snacks, but he used to work for a bread company, and he says they take the same bread at Flowers Bakery in New Orleans, bunny bread, they call it. And he said they take the same bread and they just put different packages. They make so many. Okay, that's bunny bread. Then the next, that's Sunbeam. Then the next, that's Food Club. He said that's what they do. He said, so when you're buying it, if it's like standard white bread, or if people in New England, I think, call it light bread, get away from the wires. Light bread. He said, just buy the cheapest one because it's the same thing. This is, he say work for him. Now, that's not official information. And of course, the company is not going to say, yeah, we're taking the same product and repackaging it. But like I said, doesn't much matter. If you get Walmart's Great Value medium roast coffee, and then you taste it in a blind taste test against Folgers medium roast, you see if you could tell them apart. Just do it. You'll pay significantly more for Folgers. But the 2 biggest coffee mills in the United States are in New Orleans. Now that is verified because if you look at the Folgers website, it shows photos of the coffee mills. I don't know if they get tours. I know where they are. They're both on the old US Highway 90, actually. That you can still drive on it, but it's been replaced by a newer Highway 90, which the bridges are out on the road. Imagine this, a big highway connecting. You won't stop, so you're out. Connecting Texas, runs from Van Horn, Texas to the Atlantic Ocean. And you can't go all the way on it because the bridges were declared decrepit. They say, what if a hurricane comes? People can't evacuate. They'll have to get on Interstate 10, which would be bottlenecked. I don't know what they're going to do, but it needs to be done quickly. A major thoroughfare, and you can't thoroughfare on it. Okay. But yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, repackaging. Mercury Comet, Ford Maverick. Look at a photo of a Ford Maverick and a Mercury Comet. You'll get the idea what I'm talking about. More corn here. Less corn here. Maybe some flavor aroma. Now, when 10 High was American blended whiskey, could they add flavoring and coloring? It is allowed in a blended whiskey, but it can't exceed like 2.5%. I think that's the regs. And they might have gone above 2.5%. And so they got to repackage it as 10 High sour mash bourbon with natural flavors. You could try to bust through the door, but you did not behave. Corn, rye spice, little vanilla, oak, candy fruit, cake fruit, same oak, like yada, like they used to say on the sitcom yada yada yada. But it's kind of like that. These bourbons are very replicate. They replicate, like you taste it and you get the same tasting notes. Now I know the company's websites list 2001 tasting notes, but they never seem to match up with what you're tasting. But they might have experts. You know, I'm not an expert. What I mean is they have tasting experts that compile the data, the write up. I hope they're not just making it up. This one tastes pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Now I don't know if 10 High uses Sazerac's high rye mash bill or low rye mash bill. Seems kind of high, the rye. So if they're adding vanilla flavoring, I'm assuming it's vanilla. I don't know that. Does it change the flavor much? No. It just tastes like regular old bourbon to me. And basic stuff, you know. But that's it. It just tastes regular. Nothing amazing, nothing bad, just standard. You say, well, I want a cheap bourbon. I want the cheapest one I can get. Well, there you go. Like I said, $10 at $13 at Walmart. Let me check Walmart's price right now. They probably out of stock. I think when they dropped it to $13 even, people started buying it. They were trying to get it out the store. They have a lot of bourbon at Walmart, but they wanted to bring in some different brands. Oh, it's showing that they still have it. Well, this is weird. They're showing they have it for $14.98. Like they went back to the regular price, which is still cheap as in cheap. Oh, not available. Notify me when it's back in stock. Let's see, buy in store. Available at this store. No, it's out of stock. They're not bringing it back. Yeah, like I said, I'm just looking at the website. They cut it. Oh well, that's no great loss. Other stores around here sell it, usually in the glass 750s. The bottle's shaped the same, kind of squared off bottle. It's kind of a square bottle, like Kentucky Tavern bottle, but it's glass if you don't like plastic. Total Wine and More has it. They're about the same price though. I can check real quick, and then I'm gonna go walking another half a mile. Ten High, yeah, they got it. Well, they're showing the big bottle like I've got, and it's $15.49. So it's 51 cents more than Walmart's listing it. They've got it in stock today. Well, they're not open on Christmas Day. A quality sour mash whiskey. Well, it has some quality that maintains a wealth of tradition and craftsmanship. Carefully distilled and matured in white oak barrels to create a smooth, distinctive bourbon. All right. The ratings for it, it's an 84, a B. People are saying it's good, but that's it. 24 days ago, Largo Bob in Largo, Florida says, a smooth bourbon sour mash that makes very nice blended mixed. A month ago, Paulie in Arizona says, a great bourbon at a great price. Great smooth bourbon for making Manhattans or just sipping neat. Okay. And Thomas, 9 months ago, says makes him a great Manhattan. 5 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. So the last 3 reviews on Total Wine and More are giving it 5 out of 5. That's excessive. It's not that good. But they thought so. Oh. Hey, now, final assessment. This has got to be the 10 high. It's got more authenticness to it. But I said 10 high. I meant to say this is the Heaven Hill because it's got more authenticness to it. I meant to say Heaven Hill. It's actually the 10 high. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and cheat on the taste channel. So I got it wrong once again. But that just goes to show you, Quality House, it's now called Quality House, is in the mix. Now, if you go to Kenner, Louisiana today, Christmas Day, Ricky's Liquor Store is open. Ricky's Discount Liquors is open, and it will be packed. They're probably open now. They probably opened at 6, being Christmas morning, and a lot of people looking to buy liquor at the last minute. When I went there a few years ago, the line was to the back of the store, packed with people, and across the street was Little Chinatown. I think it's called Little Chinatown Restaurant. Used to be a Pizza Hut. Really good, well-regarded Chinese restaurant. Open Christmas Day. Got a lot of people in there. All right, so yeah, you said Christmas Day Chinese food. Okay, yeah, well, there were people in there. All right, anyway, so actually, even though it's a bourbon with natural flavors and not a true bourbon, which is not allowed to have flavoring added, ding-a-ling-a-ling, it does win the challenge because it does taste a little bit better. So cheers to Buffalo Trace / Sazerac for putting out an ultra cheap product. And it doesn't make me disgusted. Not a repurchase. I bought it twice. I bought the blended version twice, $9.99, but it's all gone now. And I bought this once, and that's it. It served its purpose. So I would give it a B also. Just like a 8.5 since it did bring in that oak today. 8.5 out of 10, good, nothing great. Moving on. Heaven Hill. I am starting to get more oak here. Now, when I did a solo review, I gave it an A. Most excellent. Now, I don't know. Reevaluating, I guess it's good, a B. They're both about an 8.5. As they say in England, cheap as chips. $11.99 at my purchase price. $14.99 at my purchase price. And Walmart's got it at, if you can find it in stock, $14.98. And that's pretty much the cheapest bourbon you are going to find. What are some other super cheap bourbons? Evan Williams, Green Label. I can get a full size. I can get a liter bottle for $9 if they still have any, or $9.99 if they still have any in stock over there in Gretna, Louisiana. Don't need any more, but they have it. Big, beautiful bottles, liter bottles. What's another one? Jim Beam is usually very cheap and apparently not popular anymore since they shut down one of their major distilleries 2 days ago. Said it's going to stay shut down throughout 2026 because they got too many bottles of bourbon sitting in warehouses not moving. Good reason to shut it down. Henry McKenna, another good one. Yeah. I don't know about Old Fitzgerald because I never tried it yet. I got a handle of that. No, 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 no. Got a regular size bottle, 750 milliliter, 75 cents a liter. I got it for $19.99. It's kind of a legendary brand, Old Fitzgerald. I haven't tried the standard one, but I heard good things about it. So anyway, there's if you buy a really cheap bourbon whiskey, is it going to be good? Most likely, especially if it says Kentucky Straight, usually Kentucky, but it could be from Indiana or Tennessee. Kentucky Straight bourbon. You probably do all right. All right. Do I have any more Sazerac products coming up? Yeah. I have Very Old Barton, which I found in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Ain't never seen it in Louisiana. I got the 86 proof. I tried the 80 proof years ago. It was fine. I have the 86 proof, and it's fine. And I have Stedman Select, the original Stedman Select from 6 years ago, which has been replaced by a higher proof new Stedman Select from not Blanton's, Barton 1792 Distillery. Is now called Stedman Select Barton 1792. Saw it at Walmart this week. But yeah, it was $11.99 for a regular bottle, and it's cheap. It's cheaper per ounce if you buy the big jug glass, and they use glass, big glass jug bottle. So that's a really good one. I've seen it at Total Wine before. Also, Sazerac does nothing to promote it; they stick it on the shelf, kind of like 2 Stars Bourbon, which I think is a Total Wine and More brand. It's also made by Buffalo Trace. I don't think I'll buy it because I think it's going to taste just like all those other lower shelf Sazerac Buffalo Trace products, like the one they sell at CVS Pharmacy, Jethro T. Boots, and the one they sell at Albertsons stores. It's called not TW Samuel. It's called oh, I don't remember. I bought it for $9.99. I'll bring it in. Oh yeah, don't forget Ancient. Or how did I forget Ancient Age? Ancient Age is another good cheapo. It's been around since 1936, even though Buffalo Trace got their dates confused and thought it was 46. And I proved to them. I told them, I said, it's 36. And I sent the lady the documents, but they never changed it. All right, well, y'all take care now. Bye-bye, everybody.